What brought her to the Netherlands? What made her start her own Filipino food business there? Leizel van Keulen will share her story with us today. But before I welcome her, I would like to remind everyone to please subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you don't miss any of our inspiring videos. Hello everyone, this is Margie Bruce here at Global Inspiration, where you need to be seen, you need to be heard, and be an inspiration to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest this week, please welcome Leizel van Keulen. Hi Leizel.
Hi, Margie.
How are you?
I'm fine. A little bit nervous, but it's okay.
All right, let's start with where are you originally from?
Okay, I was born and raised in Lapu-Lapu City, Philippines, and by my ordinary parents. And I have four siblings, two brothers and two sisters, and three of them live in the Philippines with their families. And my older sister lives in Norway, whom I visit from time to time, and vice versa.
Okay, and you are now in Koudikarke, Netherlands. How long have you been there?
It's my 11 and a half years in the Netherlands, and I'm loving it so far.
So what brought you to the Netherlands?
I am married with a Dutch man, and of course, there's a story behind it, a love story behind it. I could tell if you want.
Please.
Yeah, so on my in my youth years, I was the president in our barrio, and when, as you know, when Fiestas is approaching, you have to have these event nights that you can gather money for the barrio, and one of those nights are the open discos, and so I organized one, and one night I sat at the entrance collecting fees. There came in three Dutch men, and they are with the friends. Also, I know Filipino friends, and they were even joking like, "Which one do you want?" and something like that. And but I secretly had already a starstruck with one of them, and he's my husband now. But as a Filipino, I didn't let him notice that. And so, out of a sudden, he asked for a dance. And so it went really quick from first dance to first dates. And then I got pregnant, and now I have three adorable children.
So how old are your children?
My daughter is 13 years old, and the boys are 7 and 8. And yes, I have a busy family. My daughter is doing horseback riding every Friday afternoon, and the boys are doing piano lessons on Mondays, and the three of them are doing soccer, mostly on Wednesdays and Saturdays. But despite of our hectic schedule, we often find time for the whole families. We watch movies together. We play board games together. We go to grandma or grandpa for coffee and cookies. And we also go to the forest. We walk to the forest, and we go biking together. We even play soccer together. And you know, in this pandemic era, there are also silver linings, you know, because I had the chance to introduce to my family our Filipino classic games. We did Siatong, Too Big, and even hide and seek. And yes, they liked it. And on summer days, we often go to the beach or camp to France. Yes, so that's how my family is here in the Netherlands.
I'm curious, are there many Filipinos where you are?
Yes, there are. In the village I live, there are only two Filipinos, including me. But the nearby cities and villages, there are a lot of Filipinos I know, and to the whole country, and some of them are dear to me. And I am also very thankful for the my line of work, because I have this chance to know a lot of Filipino people in the country.
Yes. So then, in the Netherlands, do they speak a lot of English? Do many people speak English?
Yes, they speak English well, and the youth ones are fluent, though they use Cambridge English here in the Netherlands. And yes, they can. When I first came here, it was not. Yes, the language was difficult, but I could communicate in English, so that was not really a problem.
Okay. So then you had to learn Dutch to speak
Yes,
Dutch. Was that hard? Was it challenging, or did it come easy for you?
yes, learning Dutch was and is a challenge, because it is one of the most difficult language in the whole world. I could tell, because in 2007 I had to learn the Japanese language, and it was not that as hard as the Dutch language. And it in the beginning, my first 3 months in the Netherlands was full of frustrations because of the language. Because I am a talking type of person, and it is just so confronting, as if I couldn't talk back. But then I lifted myself up, and I was thinking I had to learn the language. I didn't have another choice, so I studied. I listened to them, and I practiced a lot. And after a year, the people I know, they were shocked as to how I did it. So I even copycat their accents, their pronunciations, and the how do you say that one? The facial expressions. And they were really amazed. How I did it.
Great, great. So then you have a teaching degree in the Philippines, correct?
Yes.
So did you teach there? Can you tell us about that? And then are you teaching in the Netherlands, or have you taught there? Tell us about that.
Yes. Okay. Now in the Philippines, in my elementary years, I already um, I already joined, or I even organized small study groups among with the small children. And in my high school years, I organized summer classes in our barrio. I even recruited friends of mine to work with me, and I went to the mayor's office and asked if we could ask the empty buildings nearby for as our classrooms. And I even wrote um, a letter to the president that time, if we could have a public library in the barangay. But then, yes, I received 4 letters back. Sad to say, it ended up with no answer. But anyway, we did like a few times, a few summer times, summer classes. But then eventually it had to stop because of the lack of the resources. And so that time I decided, okay, I will go into a teaching profession. So I did it, and I had my diploma at the Southwestern University. And my first real teaching experience was in a fourth grade, grade four. I would say grade four, in the Philippines, in one of the public schools in Lapu-Lapu City. But at that time, I had 69 students. It was normal that time. I couldn't even Yes, I couldn't even imagine if to have that number at the nowadays. So, but I didn't hold it for too long because I was somehow not feeling well, and my body could not bear the stress that time. So I decided to work in an English school with a minimal number of students. Though I was teaching Koreans that time, I never stopped helping the children. So together with my Korean students, we sponsored children to go to school because until now, education comes first in my heart because I believe that with knowledge, someone could come so far. And from time to time, I'm a husband and my sister in Norway, and the company of my husband and his former boss will be sending things to the Philippines for the less fortunate children there. We sent bags and other school necessities.
So are sorry, go ahead.
No, I'll tell the about if I'm teaching here. So our 4-year diploma in the Philippines is equivalent to 2-year diploma here in the Netherlands. So I had to take the 2-year course, but there were a lot of factors that I couldn't go to school, and one of that was the language. It was just too difficult, and I was just learning that time, and the time I couldn't go to school and take care of the family. So that's why.
Okay, so now tell us about Pinoy Sweets. When did you start and what is it?
Yes, Pinoy Sweets. I am doing a business of my own for not so long, and that is Pinoy Sweets. Actually, in the Netherlands, no, as you know, as I told you, in the Netherlands, our diploma is not valid here. A diploma in the Philippines. So I when I came here, I had to do work. I had to do things out of my field. So I started working in a restaurant as a waitress for 5 years. And I even cleaned houses when the children are at schools. And at the same time, I also went to evening school. And after a year, I got my 2 Dutch diplomas, namely administration and reception as a receptionist. And so a few months later, I was hired for a job as a client advisor. So I already pictured myself out because I like to study. I like challenges. So I already pictured myself out that I have a good future in the company. But suddenly, or sadly, it was just a wishful thinking because I couldn't combine it with my busy family. So I was thinking I had to do something for my own. And that's why I came up with making foods, Pinoy foods at home. So I first started with baking breads because my parents had a bakery in the Philippines, so I have more knowledge in baking breads. And eventually, the parents of the mommies here are also starting baking breads for themselves because it is not that difficult to do that. So I did a lot of thinking. I have to make a unique product. So that's why I came up with chorizos. And as far as I know, I am the first one who made chorizo de Cebu in the Netherlands. And I'm proud of it. And but it was not an easy process, because I couldn't buy all the ingredients here in the Netherlands. So I had to improvise, and I did some modifications, and then I came up with a healthier version and the taste of Cebu. And so And then later on, I was thinking I had to do uh, some other things. I have to make more street foods, Filipino street foods. So that's why I came up with ngoyong, Chinese ngoyong, were college favorite, and shumai, and I'm also doing other still baking other breads at this time.
That sounds wonderful. So, so you deliver your products all over Europe. Can you tell us some of the countries that you deliver to?
Yes, I do. I have at the moment Belgium, I have Germany, Austria, France, Italy, Ireland, Norway, and of course my foodies here in Holland.
And how can our viewers contact Pinoy Sweets?
Yes, at the moment I'm still working on my website. I just have to make some changes, and later on I will it will be published. For this time, everything is on my Pinoy Sweets page on Facebook, or you can message me on my personal FB, Leizel van Keulen.
Who is or are your biggest inspiration in life?
Okay, that's a nice question. I am not really a fan type of person, but I do admire a lot of people. Yes, a lot of people who respect everyone regardless of the status of life. And personally, I came also from an ordinary family. So I really admire people who make a scratch to work of art.
Is there anything else you want our viewers to know about you?
Yes, not so much, I think, because I show everyone who I am. But for the other viewers, I am just an ordinary person, and I really have a lot of different of group of friends, and I can fit to any of them.
Lastly, so based on your life experiences, what message can you give to our viewers?
Yes. To the people and to the children whom I want to inspire you. I want to stay. I want to stay inspiring you in my own simple way. Just respect everyone, stay low, and live life accordingly. Because just as Forrest Gump said, life is just a box of chocolates. You never know what you get.
So thank you very much, Leizel, for being our guest today.
Thank you, Margie, for this opportunity too.
And this is Margie Bruce here at Global Inspiration, where you need to be seen, you need to be heard, and be an inspiration to the world.